What's up, in the loop? Checking in from Tibidabo, or rather high above the Mediterranean in the city of Barcelona. Tibidabo somewhere up on top of that hill. There's Brian. We gotta figure out how to get up there. It's easy. You take the funicular. So let's go. Station for funicular is pretty cool with stained glass. We bought our tickets as part of a combo, both the attractions and the funicular, because even on days when the park's not open, you can still ride this up to the top for what they call the best view in Barcelona. So like the sightseeing part is open pretty much every day during the summer months. The park, even during the summer month, is only open Wednesday through Sunday. So checking accordingly. Let's head up the hill. I have to say that's one of the cooler entrances to a theme park, seeing it emerge through the hills of the mountains as we get higher and higher, 1,500 feet above sea level. And here we are at the entrance to the park, and there's this giant old church, and away we go. The park is over 100 years old. One of the more well-known rides here at this park is this airplane thing. It leans out over the city, which, by the way, let's talk about that view. So it's really made to simulate like you're on an airplane flying over Barcelona. This is like a one-of-a-kind ride in a one-of-a-kind location. Might just be throwing out terms here. Only been here for 2 minutes, but one of the best views in a theme park. Also, how many theme parks? This is for you legends. Got to get views of cruise ships leaving the port. Barcelona is a big cruise port. Check out these views here of the city. The genius thing about this ride is it's essentially like a working airplane. What powers the ride to go around? It's a real propeller. Hopefully you can hear that in the sound. It's like we're boarding a real aircraft here, because we kind of are. Check this out. It's like, this is nice. One of the nice aircrafts I've been on. There's a cockpit if you're wondering. The windows do open some, which I feel like would be a no-no in the Americas. All right, about to go flying. So I know that was a lot of video about one simple little ride, but it's truly unique, really awesome, and that's why I love traveling to these random parks on the other side of the world, because you get crazy stuff like that ride right there. And other crazy, wacky stuff. That's, I always say, if you're traveling, go to the big name parks, but also try to find the smaller parks. This one is in the city of Barcelona, or on the outskirts, just a 15-minute cab ride from the heart of downtown, and you can chalk it up as a aerial sightseeing place if you need to convince people to come with you. But it's fairly small. It is, it is a kind of like a city park, if you will, where there's a couple dozen rides, just the one coaster. It's kind of one of the signature rides. Got some live entertainment over there. We are working our way down the hill here to go to the coaster. Why, yes, we're on the other side of the world, and why, yes, there is a ride called Alaska. We must go investigate. I think I saw this from the train. Alaska is this little kid boat ride that goes around an igloo with penguins. Never seen a small, like, one-person flume. Tiny little drop. That's kind of cool. The park is built on several different levels, kind of on the side of the mountain here. There is an elevator, but we're choosing to walk. Maybe that will come back and haunt us. We'll see. I know. I'm going to talk about the plane ride again. Just want to give you a perspective kind of here at the bottom area of the park. You got the great views of Barcelona, but you are high above. You know, you can see very least 100 feet above this area alone. So not only great views, but you are pretty high up when you are on it. That might be the greatest name for a train ever, the choo-choo train. And here we are, mountaintop russa. It's a nice little clip moving. They are running 2 trains. So while the plane ride, I know, I keep talking about the plane ride, only sat 8 people at a time. They're pushing 2 trains out on this thing, not even stacking. Love it. Pressing me, Spain. Let's go into this cave. Cave of Wonder, Brian. This is kind of a cool queue. Only problem with a park like this, it's on different levels. Up, down, up, down. Park should just be called roller coaster because all you do is go up and down. And we're both jet lagged, so we're feeling it. But it doesn't look like any lines, so that's good. What looks innocent enough, you're like, oh, it just seems like a slight terrain mine train. Yeah, just pan over and check out that view. Looks simple. Amazing view. It's actually a pretty sizable first drop too. I don't even know where it went. It's somewhere. I hear a roar. Oh, but here it comes. So that was surprisingly really good. I mean, it has one of the best first drops in the world. It's positioned, the trees aren't in the way on the actual first drop, but since I can't take the phone on the ride, you first drop positioned perfectly facing the Mediterranean, overlooking the city. Like I said, one of the coolest first drops I've been on. And it picks up some serious speed, probably helps that it hugs the ground and like trees so much that it gives you an even bigger sense of speed. But that was a surprising, great way to start our Spain trip here. Like I said, 2 train operations. Can't argue with that. The power coaster has a VR option. It's essentially if like a powered coaster met a mountain coaster, kind of just meanders around the mountain. Brings us down to the Castle Funhouse over here. That is, I think, unfortunately already closed for the evening. But just a fun house with like wacky stairs going up into it. Neat theme though. Get a sneak peek as they're closing it up, but they do have fascination here. Now we're at the lowest part of the park. There's an elevator somewhere, isn't there, Brian?
Yep.
Okay. But the lights are coming on.
Yeah.
Should make the view even cooler. Oh, I don't know what that is, but it looks like some cookie cake. Changed. On first glance, I thought this was one of those like extreme rides you see at beach parks. But no, this is a very interesting, probably slightly terrifying. We'll see if we have time to get on it. The line's very long, as you can imagine. Capacity is tiny, but it's essentially a stand-up Ferris wheel just with two gondolas. I think that'd be the best way to describe it. Not sure if that's a technical term, but you can kind of see here. And look off in the distance there. That's the cliff right there. So you get the best view of any theme park ride probably ever built. That's just crazy. I keep showing you the view looking out towards the city. Here's the view looking back towards the park with this giant church. The plane ride I keep talking about, the coasters on the other side of that. Essentially, this is the top of the park, and there's a few layers kind of under us. There's a haunted walkthrough, some bumper cars. But the main event, I mean, it's hard to ignore this incredible view over here. Barcelona. Just for reference, you can see the airport over there. There's this fun observation thing that we're about to go on right here. Port Aventura, for those wondering. It's on the other side of those mountains right there. It is about an hour and a half train ride from Barcelona. But just kind of showing you out the city. If you arrived on cruise, you'd be docking straight out over there. This would absolutely be doable if you're here on a cruise. I was here for a cruise a couple of years ago, and you usually have 7 or 8 hours, and you could explore town. It maybe would be a $25, $30 taxi ride each way at most to get to the funicular. That's not too bad. And then the famous church sticks out there, and you kind of got downtown, but that is the Mediterranean right there. Some of the best views from a theme park. Like I said, if you're here on a cruise, there's not a lot to do in Barcelona. There's some shopping, you can go see the church. Some art museums are really cool. If you want to work at theme parks, Port Aventura, probably a little too far away to do it on a cruise stop. But this definitely could work for you. Probably wondering, why are we here so late? Well, the parks in Spain just in general is a culture that does everything late. You walk around the city, most of the stuff isn't open to noon at least. The park here in the height of summer, this is the weekend in the summer, opens at 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sure, some of that is heat, but that's also just kind of goes with their culture here. You'll find that a lot of parks are open to 11 o'clock and midnight. You'll see that in the other videos from our trip here. It's just, they like to party late, I guess. Check out this suspended little monorail thing going over the funicular. These views are incredible. Let me pause for a photo. You can see the funicular station. This is a kind of creepy looking entrance thing here. I'm going to assume we're not going right back into the station. Let's see what's behind door number 1 here. Music. This reminds me of Space Mountain. Ooh, another outdoor suspended area. This is on the one side of the park. You can walk up to the park or drive up. That's a good thing to note is there is a parking lot up here at the top of the park. So when you're talking to your cab driver or you're plugging in the GPS if you're driving, you probably want the funicular experience. That's pretty cool. So make sure you plug in the funicular. It's a spot on Google Maps or Apple Maps, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. So you can ride it up versus driving all the way up and miss out on half the fun. How about that view? Wow. Not much holding you into here either. Park B for reference on the other side of that church here, so we're kind of on the back side right now. Quite the trippy ride here. I was not expecting the, not quite scare actor, but the happy actor. Like she was like, hello. All right then. That was a ride. Loved it. This park's been around a while. So as you can imagine, they have some artifacts. But I'm getting distracted by this really cool roller coaster thing. It is out of order. Oh, that is a bummer. Well, you just turn on like all the lights in the building. This is, got a ski lift over here. So Brian, tell me, like, where would these have been in like dark rides back in like the 20s, right?
No, there would have been something you pay for.
Like you put
Penny
in
arcade.
Penny arcade. Okay. We got a boxing ring over here. I know there's a lot of WWE fans watch the videos. Maybe this is something similar. Whoa, we're going crazy. That's some serious. You don't see that on WrestleMania. This one's called Harlem. That's pretty wet. Oh, you got like tourists. It looks like Bill Murray. It doesn't really do anything. This looks like quite the... What happens when you... Nothing happens. But you got a lot of these like cool arcade things, and then you got these ride models which are really cool. Got these swings here. Don't seem to be working. Like here's a model of the really wacky observation tower from inside the park. Oh, this one works. Playing some music. And this is in the park, a little bit hidden. It's under the plane ride. Oh, wow, 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 wow. This is awesome right here. Look at this. It is kind of a map of the park. So here you can see is down here is funicular. Looks like it's definitely a little bit older. I don't see the roller coaster here, but you can see funicular, the cliff, the park, how the park kind of is on various levels coming down. Now, this is obviously not quite to scale because the funicular isn't this close to the park, but you kind of get a sense. You can see here, very small track that is the powered coaster. So it kind of gives you an idea, like I said, on that part of the video, it kind of wanders around that whole part of the mountain. Oh, press the button, things turn on. My favorite plane ride's moving. That's really cool. Wow, you got double Ferris wheels. Does the double Ferris wheels work? Just like a kid in a candy shop here. Oh, there's a plane ride on top of the double Ferris wheels. Now look at that. And players are probably like, who is this guy just walking around pressing all these buttons? It's a lot more. We'll walk you through and push every single one. But it's like really cool that they embrace the history. I'm sure some of these were at the park. This wacky roller coaster thing here, we didn't see this side. Everything I was too distracted by that model, but here is a model of the funicular, which is really neat. So let's see if this works. 3/4 of things working here. No go. Got
Let's go right outside.
I know, it actually works. Press the button. Got dog sled. Oh, the dogs must be tired. But yeah, this is really cool. This definitely looks like wooden floors with the ceiling that maybe this used to be a ballroom or something. Shame they have these windows blocked because these windows would be looking straight out towards the Mediterranean, straight out towards Barcelona. So really cool little room here that you probably would pass over if you didn't know it existed on the map. So make sure you give yourselves a few minutes to walk through there. It would have been cool to see this model run because this is a model of a coaster that used to be here but no longer is here. Looks a little exaggerated. I know this model makes it kind of look like Leap the Dips or something, but it is essentially a wild mouse coaster. So, but cool that they have current rides, old rides, full park model here. Really cool. One last plane shot, I promise. But lights up at night. That's pretty cool. With sunset over the Mediterranean, or as they probably call it here in Spain, dinner time. Wrapping up our visit here at Tibidabo. Really liked it. 35 euros, so give or take the exchange rate, roughly around 35 bucks. Not too bad. I will say we underestimated it a little bit from the amount of time it takes. Just the plane ride. I know I'd never shut up about the plane ride, but the plane ride, very low capacity, as you can imagine. So we waited probably a half hour for that. And just a couple other things have a little bit limited capacity. It's a little bit difficult to get around. So for a lot of these city parks, you know, I was thinking 2.5 hours. I would say you probably want 3 hours plus here if you're coming on a weekend. If you really just want to come for the credit, the plane ride, and see some observation stuff, you can do that in an hour, hour and a half. But there's a lot of little wacky rides, kind of you just always want to keep taking in the view. Wish we had time to do the Ferris wheel or this wacky observation thing. Capacity is just really, really limited on those. So as you can imagine, those would take a while. So plan accordingly if you want to do some of that wackier stuff. Give yourself a little bit more time. That wraps up Tibidabo here. Definitely worth a stop if you're a theme park fan and you're in the Barcelona area, or you just like good views, because it has great views. Thanks for watching, guys. Are you ready to go flying?
Let's do it.
Have you flown over an amusement park recently?
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been on Soarin'.
Do you think we'll get snacks on this?
No.
No?
Maybe some churros.
So it's no different than Spirit.